Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to take a full look at Ibara's kit, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what kind of unit I think she's going to be. We're going to compare her to Black Rose Helena a little bit, and if you're on the fence about whether you should pull for her, whether you shouldn't pull for her, maybe looking at her kit will help you make that decision if she's somebody that you need in the game. So let's jump into it, and I do want to start by comparing her stats to Black Rose Helena's stats. Black Rose Helena is by far one of the most talked about mages in this game. She's also a 100 cost unit, so how do these two stack up side by side? You can see that Ibara has more HP than Black Rose Helena does, and more defense and spirit, with a base defense 4 and spirit 4. This really will be important for Ibara. I think she is meant to be a super high damage, but kind of bruisery mage, and her stat line there really checks out for that. Magic, a really important stat for Ibara, 493, is not quite as good as Helena's 519, although it's not that far behind. Agility, Ibara is a little bit slower at 61 compared to Helena's 63. And then when we go look at resistances down there towards the bottom, note a couple of things. Both of these units are super resistant to magic at plus 20. And Ibara, though, has a -5 slash resistance. I really don't like that. Helena has that plus 15 slash resistance, which has really helped Helena be not one-shot by a lot of slashing units in this game. Ibara at -5 slash resist might seem bad, but I think she's going to be very, very good against physical units regardless of that. And we'll see that a little bit more in her kit. And that's how their stat lines compare. I think they're pretty comparable, like Ibara with a little bit more tanky stats, Helena with a little bit more damage and a little bit more speed, but we're going to have to look at the kit for sure to get a better feel for what this unit can do. Before we do that, let's talk about the TMR, Ibara's hairpins. If we're comparing Ibara to Helena, that was hard to say for some weird reason, Helena's TMR blows Ibara's out of the water. Ibara's hairpins are like neat and like really niche maybe. The stat line on them, 298 HP, 68 magic. I do like the magic on there, especially for stacking magic for like trials or something, and 6 accuracy. But notice that there's no agility on there. I really like agility on my TMR accessories. And then the skill on it is a magic plus 100% and move plus 1 for 1 turn for herself. Now, I get what this is supposed to do. This is supposed to be like, look, I'm fully unlocking my damage for 1 turn, and with that plus 1 move, I'm going to be able to get in range and just drop a bomb on somebody. And I think that's cool, but I don't think it's super good all the time, whereas like Helena's shield is just good all the time. So I don't think this is great. Like, I don't think you want to pull Ibara just for her TMR. Oof. Her Master Ability, let's check that out. She gets the HP and lightning attack up like you'd expect, and then acquired AP up 30 for herself and AoE resistance 10. I don't love the acquired AP 30 for a mage. It might be really good, again, in some like longer PvE fights. The AoE resistance times 10, that is going to help her be tanky, which is a core thing for her, and it's something I think a lot of people in their like early impressions of her have slept on, is just how much of a bruiser she's going to kind of be. Consider as well that she's a demon, so human killer, I don't think that's going to work on her. That is a little bit of tankiness that she's just going to gain. A lot of people run Odin or other human killer kind of things. None of those will work on Ibara. Okay, her skills. Let's talk about those next, and let's go ahead and start with the support skills. Here is where Ibara knocks it out of the water, in my opinion. Her support skills are absolutely 100 cost, 100 costable. They're 100 cost worthy. That's where my brain is. You have a fever for a couple of days, your brain cooks, you lose words, it happens. Anyway, Demon of Legend, 20 human killer, straightforward. You want to do more damage to people, that's a pretty decent one. Mind Body Unity, I like this one. 12 spirit, 12 HP. If you're going for an anti-magic team, you can run this to be a little bit more of a bruiser against those mages. Prayers of Humankind, really like this one. 30% magic, 12 lightning attack. Just a huge boost to her damage. I like that one a lot. Holy Knight's Protection from her Paladin subjob. 12 defense, 12% HP. If you're going for the anti-physical, which I think Ibara will specifically shine against physical units, this is a good option. It makes you more of a bruiser against them. And then Blade Soul Lore, this is 12% agility and 40 spirit penetration. I think you run this one almost all the time. Spirit penetration is going to be a thing that Ibara can just do. Like, she gets 40 spirit pin right here. There's spirit pin on her vision card, which we'll look at here in a second. And then there's gear with spirit penetration on it you can give her. She can get 80 spirit penetration very easily. And so it's going to be really tough to tank this girl, especially if you're trying to tank her with spirit. You're gonna have a really bad time with that, I think. Okay, so I really love her support kit. I think you probably run Blade Soul Lore with Prayers of Humankind if you just want to do your most damage, or you mix in some of her bruiser ones if you're going for a specific anti-physical or anti-magic build. All the options, and they're all pretty good, including the human killer one. I just don't know which one will do more damage. Okay, her counter moves, not as good as her support moves in my opinion, but still pretty good. If you're going for an anti-magic build, she has magic reflex. It's Alluring Smile. You would just run that if you're playing against mages. It's super good. She has preemptive revenge. This is like Gilgamesh's Clairvoyant Blade, where it has a 30% chance to proc, deals 121% damage that will increase as her HP decreases. I don't know if it's her HP or the target's HP. It doesn't specify right there. But short range, it's a slashing attack, but it scales 120% off of magic. And the key thing here is it does its damage before she gets hit. So if a low HP target gets up on her and swings, she can kill them before they get the attack off. I like that a lot. Then she has Paladin's Guard. So if you're going specifically anti-physical, you have a 20% chance to take 45% reduced physical damage, which is really strong. So again, a lot of options. All of them are viable, I think. I still think they're as great as her support abilities, but they're really good. Okay, so she checks the boxes there. Now, let's look at her main job. And I want to start by just saying something I don't love about her main job. Every one of these moves is magic. She does not have a second damage type at all in her main job. I think that is a drawback, and I want to point that out. Okay, let's look at it though. Hairpin Dart, 120% damage, cheap to use. This is her auto attack replacer. Everybody's got something like this. Shrill Laughter, not going to spend a bunch of time on this one. It's an AoE stun that costs TP. The AI is really never going to use this. I think this maybe has some like niche uses in manual PvP, or in like, it just really, I don't love that skill a whole lot. Okay, Izayoi. I probably said that wrong. It's hard to say, but this is one of the moves that was previewed on Monday. This is a 200% damage skill that goes up to 260% damage if the target is affected by attack or magic down. It has good range on it with range height 1. 3 uses 28 AP, and if a target is affected by those, this is her hardest hitting skill, so it's cool. When will she use it all the time? She'll use it. Like, the AI will use this if it will do the most damage. So there you go. Now, Demonic Wail that upgrades to Wailing Storm. This is a pretty dang good move, especially for PvE. It is a 121% damage with the EX upgrade and a 30% lightning resistance debuff for 3 turns for the target. It hits in a big AoE. So this is her big time, this is her bigger, wider AoE skill, but the damage on it is a little bit low, which is kind of made up for by the lightning resistance debuff. I don't know. I don't know if that will actually do more damage than just her straight up bigger hits. But a 30% lightning resist debuff. Remember, you could put those into the negative. So you could put somebody with a negative 30% lightning resist and then nuke them with this move. It might do a ton of damage. We will see. The next one, I think, is her most important skill as far as a buff goes. I always think that new units have some buff that is like core to their kit. And for Ibara, I think it's this one. Spiritual Possession that upgrades to the Fall of Night. Let's check this out. First of all, it is a magic attack 25 buff for herself, then magic resistance penetration 40 for 3 turns for herself, and then 25 human killer for 3 turns. This is a huge steroid, and it gives magic resist penetration. Remember how I said earlier that like every one of her attacks in her main job was a magic attack? That's why this is so important. You could, in theory, tank this girl very effectively by just stacking magic resist. However, with this buff on, she's going going to just ignore 40% of the magic resist that you stack, and she's going to have so much spirit penetration, you're not going to be able to also stack that, in my opinion, to effectively tank this girl. With this move on, with Fall of Night active, I think Ibara is a legit 100 cost magic damage dealer. With this buff not active, I don't know that she will be because of how easy it is to just tank magic damage by stacking magic resist. So I'm very happy that she has a way around that a little bit. Will it be enough? We'll have to see. And then I really like her job level 25 ability as well. Lightning Shroud, 200% damage, hits in an AoE, smaller AoE, but an AoE, and it gives her back 200 CT, so it's kind of like a little haste. It's like a little, it's a mini, not quicken, it's not quicken, but it does boost her CT. I like this move. It could, in theory, get her to lap a slower unit like an Engelbert. She could hit him with this spell, get a turn before he goes again, and hit him again to finish him off or kill his courage, something like that. Now, her Demoness sub-job is really awkward, and I don't think people will run this very much. She has an AP restore buff for herself and a switch positions with target. This one's weird. Maybe there's a use for this out there that I just don't know. I don't think you're going to run Demoness sub-job very much. I do think Blade Soul sub-job will get some play because it gives her access to that second damage type, which, with all of her spirit penetration, is a fantastic option. Now, what are the actual good moves she has in here? Well, in my opinion, they are these two. Slate Wiper, which is a long-range AoE buff long-range AoE attack that dispels all their buffs, and then Counterman Slash. This is a nice AoE attack that the enemy cannot use a counter like Aeon Bond or Reflex, and it has a plus 30% hit chance. One of the other weaknesses of Ibara is she lacks 100% hit moves, so you have to make up for that with gear or something like Counterman Slash, which the plus 30% accuracy will help you not get dodged. Now, we'll get back to some accuracy things with her in a minute. When we look, I'm going to do a quick look at a piece of gear I think is really important for this chick here in a minute. Paladin subjob. Let's look at this real quick. You're never going to use attacks from this because they scale off of attack stats. She's not going to have attack stats. She's going to have magic. And if we look at her Blade Soul, they scale 120% off of magic. And if you look at her main job, they scale off of magic mostly with some dex, agility, and luck. So she's mostly going to want to stack magic. But Paladin, the key weakness of her Paladin subjob is no courage buff. So I think a lot of people saw that and instantly just said Paladin subjob on her is garbage. No courage just makes it suck. Those people are just wrong. Like, if you heard somebody say that, you might rethink what their opinion on the Paladin subjob is because they're dead ass wrong. First of all, she has Saintly Wall. It is a 50% damage reduction buff for 3 turns for yourself. So if you're building that anti-physical version of this girl with her, support ability that gives her defense and HP, and then she puts Saintly Wall on herself, she's going to be really hard to kill. And manual PvP, I love fighting in manual PvP when I'm using a Sentinel unit. I do this with Zombie Ryu all the time, where I put his buffs on, right? His buffs that don't wear off, like Courage or Zombie TMR, and then I walk towards the enemy and just casting Saintly Wall as I walk towards them. Really good move for manual PvP. Her Paladin subjob does not suck if you're going for the anti-physical build in PvP or going for something in PvE. So I wanted to shout that out. Okay, next, her Limit Break. I think her Limit Break is really, really good, especially for raid bosses or, like box event bosses like we just had. Here's why. It is a 38% lightning resistance debuff, really nice, 200% damage, and then it debuffs their agility, attack, magic, dex, and luck. When you're fighting a boss that you don't want to have them taking a bunch of turns, debuffing their agility is really nice. When you're fighting a boss that you want to hit harder and hit a weakness on them, knocking their lightning resist down 38% is going to be really freaking nice. So I like this Limit Break a lot for PvE. For PvP, if she hit her combo, the combo you're supposed to see, if she hits somebody with this, it debuffs their attack and magic. So if we go back up to her main kit, her spell, the one I can't say, Ezayoi, would hit them for 260% damage. That 1-2 combo would be devastating. I don't see anybody surviving that in the game, period. But That's how it's supposed to work. That's a lot of AP. It's 2 turns worth of stuff. So I don't know how, I don't know how often you're going to see that in auto PvP, but it is a potential really high amount of damage. Okay, before we put a bow on this, let's look at her vision card. Wish upon a demon. This gives her 20 more spirit pin if she has it, and more human killer, further amplifying her damage. Her specifically, she's going to get acquired. I don't want my voice cracked right there. I blame the sickness. She gets acquired AP up and magic up, so more damage, more AP. Then for her group, the lightning units will get AoE resistance. Again, more tankiness. Magic attack up, you like to see that. And then dexterity, which lightning is an element that really likes critting. So more dexterity, really nice. I like this vision card a lot. The stat line's really good. 289 HP, 174 magic, and 3 agility. If you're building Ibara, you're going to want to get this vision card and max it out. It's going to unlock her even more, especially with that spirit pin. Now, while we're on the topic of spirit pin, I do want to talk about a piece of gear right here. The silver rim spectacles. One of Ibara's weaknesses was she does not have 100% hit ability. These will help. Right? You get 26 accuracy if you built the aim version of these glasses, and that was the version to build. You should have built the aim version of this if you made it. 26 accuracy, and then she has that move in her sub job that has the plus 30%, or wait, what was it exactly? Let's not mess it up. She has this move in her Blade Soul sub job that's a plus 30% hit chance. So you stack that plus the silver rim spectacles, she's going to be hard to dodge, even for an evasion unit, even with some of the new evasion gear that we're getting like in this raid. This also gives her 20 spirit penetration. So with her vision card, the silver rim spectacles, and just her being herself, you can have 80 spirit pen, which means you can't tank her with spirit literally at all. I mean, yeah, you get 20% of the spirit you equip, so you wouldn't, like, it would be worthless. Basically. So I really like this item on her, and it has officially been upgraded to show that she can use it. Keep that in mind when you're kind of thinking about her. Now, she does also come with a new weapon. Here it is. It's really good. 192 magic is great. It also gives a little bit of accuracy. And it gives magic attack 10, lightning attack 10. So it's better than just the straight up magic attack 15 that you get on most craftable gear. By comparison, here's the Lunar Tome. Lunar Tome has only 186 magic if you build the magic version. The aim version does have 20 accuracy, but the fall off in magic is pretty brutal. And then it only gives magic attack 15 at a plus 5. This, you don't have to plus 5 this. I don't exactly know how we get this yet. I haven't gotten to play, but you don't have to plus 5 this thing. This is going to be it's from a reoccurrent event. So we'll see how we get this pretty soon. Anyway, that's Ibara. So what are my thoughts on this? I think she's going to be really tough to kill, especially when built right. I think you can build her to be very bruisery, which will be nice. I also think she's going to be hard to tank. All that spirit pin, she has magic attack penetration in her main job, so I think she'll do a bunch of damage. Does she shift the meta the way that Black Rose Helena did? I don't think so. I hope we never see a time in the game again that Black Rose Helena Dwayne was. We probably will, but she's not going to bring that time. Like, Lightning is not going to shoot to the top of the element tier list, in my opinion, right now. I think that's probably still held by Light. But I think she brings a lot of needed magic power to Lightning. And I think if you pull her, Lightning has some baller units in it. Charlotte, one of the best tanks in the game. Cloud is a 100 cost unit in a 90 cost body. Thank you for making him 90 cost game. That dude hits like a 100 coster. You could have a really sick Lightning team of Charlotte, Cloud, Ibara that could compete with like anything. So I think she's going to be really good. Is she the right unit for you? Hey, look, that's what I'm hoping watching this video. I'm hoping that helps you make this decision. So I'm going to get this video out, pretty early in the day today, so y'all can think about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you have good luck on your pulls if you're pulling for her. I will decide if I'm going to pull for her later today. I probably won't stream because even just doing these videos is still wearing me out a little bit. I need to get my energy levels back up to be live for a few hours. So anyway, there you go, y'all. Have a great day and happy holidays. I'll catch you next time. Peace.